if we're going to stay in our lanes, I'm just saying my lane is saying that we should just put the dates out there. It's June 2nd. Happy Pride Month, everybody.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
What makes you wonder? It makes me think, though. I have one in mind, but in your mind right now, what would you say of all of the sports you've seen, the most embarrassing injury?
Oh,
Long time before
it's
that
gonna
happens.
be a strike though, and
Has
it's like there's. I don't know if you could boil it up. We're gonna keep the crystal ball on the shelf today here, but if you had to peer into your crystal ball and give me a percentage, you think that we're gonna have an MLB season next year, or if we do have a season, how many games? Where are we at?
The Stanley Cup Finals start tonight.
All right, are we talking football?
And that's it for NHL. Now we're going to get on to Wednesday where the NBA Finals kicks off.
Yes.
And, dude, I didn't get to watch about maybe the last quarter of that Game 7 Spurs Thunder. But, dude, first of all, what a game.
What a game.
What a game.
What a series. Albeit, this was one of the more enjoyable series that, only one game was really even close.
Oh, okay.
Is that Yosemite? What is that? Do we know where this is at? It's a very pristine lake.
Do not.
Kind of looks like Banff.
It's actually Lake Tahoe.
Oh, that's not Lake Tahoe, bro. You can tell by the igneous. Oh, it's Glacier National Park. Clearly, that's Glacier National Park. You can tell by the way that it is.
It's either that or the Ozarks.
Well, no, because the striations in the mountains there will tell you that that's got to be either Wyoming or Glacier National Park.
Oh, yes.
So, it's pretty much Glacier. Beautiful day, though.
Okay, beautiful day.
I want to be there. I don't want to be here anymore.
I don't want to be around anymore. You know what I do want to do though is are we good? I don't know who the camera's on right now.
Are we rolling?
That's my job.
It is.
So I don't know what you want to do.
I don't know.
Just the most casual. Stay in your lane.
Do you want it?
It's fine. It's fine. No, it's okay. It's okay. I didn't know if you were doing stuff and it was on Nick the whole time.
Awesome.
Or whatever. But anyway, episode 38. We're here. We're
live.
We're apparently we're live, and we're gonna stay in our lane.
I need more sass out of Adam out here. I need more.
As a matter of fact, this is like the one day we actually could get him
my
on
job.
Don't you dare. Gosh, man.
Oh, that's classic.
Good. Yeah, man. What a week of sports we got coming
June
up
2nd.
here.
Happy June. I really think we need to start with what day it is when we get this. I'm just saying.
No, that's true. By the way, if you don't know this, it is, if you actually read our descriptions, the dates I've been making a point to put them in there.
I feel like still.
No, I get it. I'm just saying, if you didn't know, they're there.
It's fair.
They're there.
Fair. That's good. At least
Check that out.
I'm just making sure because there has been quite a few episodes that are backdated, front dated. It's like the last one that dropped, I think, was just past the Masters. So we're a little bit.
I'm going as fast as I can. I'm going full throttle now. I was caught up for a while.
I know you're doing the Lord's work here. I'm not going to sit here and talk that's your job. I'm staying in my lane, okay? I'm staying in my lane. But if we're going to stay in our lanes, I'm just saying my lane is saying that we should just put the dates out there. It's June 2nd. Happy Pride Month, everybody. And Nate's nowhere to be found.
He's celebrating. I think. He's celebrating something. I don't know what it is.
Already.
Hey, you got to start the month off hot, right?
Yeah.
You got to go on a vacation.
He's had enough. He's had enough of us.
That's
really the answer.
He needed a break. he had to request some PTO, which I didn't even approve. He just kind of left.
He just took off.
He was like, hey, by the way, listen, no, you can't, right?
okay.
Because now he's technically on probation.
I was going to say, I got written up last time I tried to.
As a matter of fact, yeah
you guys ended up calling me from Memphis.
We did. Well, there's a few other ones that we did there, but
absence. Fair enough. Go on.
Yeah, but
lot to talk about.
Hey, lot to talk about. I think we should maybe just start it with some get maybe the laughs going and start right away.
Is there news with? Okay, we don't want to go news first.
Okay, fine.
Laughs first.
No,
We're already on laughs. We're laughs.
Okay.
Laughs first.
I know you're not a soccer guy. I'm not much of a soccer guy either, but I went to my first Chicago Fire game 2 weeks ago, and now I'm just getting.
I feel like it's a fun time, dude.
I gotta be honest. I feel like American soccer not that cool of a time because nobody
Yes.
was cheering.
Yes.
They were just all kind of meh, whatever. If I was in like the EPL or
Yes.
like watching one of those games, we'd be going nuts.
Even like some like
Nuts.
Brazil, like Sao Paulo game outside
Yeah.
of whatever
Yeah.
their clubs are, that would be electric.
Oh my God, yeah.
That would be electric.
Yeah. But
I've heard even like the fire games though, like the tailgates are pretty fun too.
we didn't
no?
get to do that. No, we went with children.
That's right.
So it is what it is. I don't know. I will say though, and this is one thing I noticed, especially for Soldier Field, which was kind of a B-, if not like C-. Whenever I tried to go to order a beer, it was just all foam. They could not get their kegs to work, and I'm like,
You're talking. You wait a minute. You have a complaint about Soldier Field?
yes,
Wow.
yes.
Wow. Hell
Just
must
saying.
have frozen over. Where are the pigs they're flying? What's going on?
Listen,
Yeah.
man, I've never had a problem there before, but that was a first.
We don't need to go into that news. That news
that's
is
okay.
BS. So
Yeah.
okay, let's
But
have some laughs.
Let's take a look. This was La Liga. This was Serie B. I want to say this was.
Now, remind me again where La Liga is at? Is that the South American one? Or Spain?
Well,
Is that the
this
Spanish league?
is actually this. Yeah, this is South America Spanish because, and I'm going to say
Well-
it wrong. Puerto Viejo and Ecuador.
Okay, the Ecuador definitely. Puerto Viejo, it might be. That could be anywhere.
I'm not going to act like I know what I'm talking about.
La
I will at least
Liga.
say. Yeah, so Adam hit us off here. There was this bizarre scene. Yeah,
Did he just get hit in the...
La camilla contra
Lo atropelló la camilla Caicedo.
Increíble.
Increíble.
No, esto es un blooper, claro.
Pasó hace años atrás Monumental, recuerdo.
Sí, 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 sí.
Pero acá
Se le van encima, claro, el conductor.
they'll run it back for you. Don't
cuidado,
worry.
Edison
Yeah, I was about to
Caicedo
say,
termina
what
siendo
just
hasta
happened?
lesionado y-
no lo vi, dice.
Sí, claro, no lo vio.
Also,
Pero
whoever
le
these
puso
guys
el
are in the
auto
green
encima.
striped
El
shirts
carrito sería el
could not
carrito.
look less official.
No.
Eso
Could
pega.
not look less official.
Terminó afectado Edison Caicedo. Tremendo esta situación.
Increíble.
Increíble.
mire. Y se disculpa.
Y ahí está Duarte, ¿no? También.
No puede ser.
And he's still down.
Well, I know. What are we trying to decipher right
Still
now?
down.
Sí, sí,
Are they
sí.
trying to
Ojalá que
determine
no se
whether or not there
emocione
needs to be like a
Caicedo
yellow
también.
card?
No porque se decide, sino porque este atropello.
Here we go. Here's the replay. Slow-mo. He's moving.
Oh, sí,
Oh, that
No le
hurts
pasa las
so
llantas
bad.
en el zapato.
Inside thigh on
Pero
the
es con la
corner of
punta
that
ahí de la
cart.
camilla,
Oof.
parece, ¿no?
Sí, con la punta de la camilla que le pega a la altura del muslo a Edison Caicedo.
Where's the
Está muy
guy?
enojado Duarte, ¿ah?
They just
New
get rid
card.
of the guy.
Yeah,
on the
they're like, hey, you know what? Get out. You're good. We need it for someone else.
Oh my god.
No, so
I love it.
That player ended up finishing the game.
Which one?
Ecuadorian player, and this is the guy who got hit. His name is Edison
The guy who
Caicedo.
got hit by the car, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. He was accidentally ran over at the 72nd minute of
I feel his pain.
Puerto Viejo versus Ecuador in Liga Pro Serie B. I gotta be honest, I kind of think it was a flop. I think it was a classic soccer flop, but
I disagree. I
that
could
was
not
very close to the
disagree more.
manhood. Very close.
Did you see the corner of the cart that slammed into his inner thigh?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. He ended up finishing the game, though. He ended up finishing the game.
Yeah, you would react as the exact same way if that happened.
Oh, yeah, listen, of course. You had to
That
give my
is
team a
not
breather. And
No. Watch that again in your spare time, dude. That
Yeah,
hit him
yeah.
square upper inner thigh with a pointed corner.
yeah.
I'm sorry, that is painful. You can okay. We're just living in different realities.
No,
If
that's
you think
fine.
That wasn't,
That's fine. There's a lot of controversy on the internet between it. You know, is it that classic soccer flop? Is it an
The
actual
first
real
one
injury?
might have been a flop. Like the first guy that's on the stretcher, that one might have been fake. We didn't see it.
That's a good point. That is a very
But
good point,
I think the guy that got hit with the car is a very reasonable gripe.
dude. Yeah, I don't. God, that's fair.
I can't speak from experience, but that wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, I can't say I've been hitting that spot, and that is a very tender
Yeah.
area of the thigh. I will agree with you there.
Golf carts carry a lot of mass.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it wasn't going very fast, but it,
Still.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I have to say
What
on
makes
that.
you wonder? It makes me think though. I have one in mind, but in your mind right now, what would you say of all of the sports you've seen, the most embarrassing injury?
Did Mark Sanchez get injured on the butt fumble? Why do I want to think that he got injured on that play?
You got your phone. I want to say no.
Maybe it was just my like secondhand embarrassment speaking for him, thinking like stay down, stay down. No, it would have been the Bears. I forgot the player's name, but the Bears had this up and coming defensive edge rusher.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And he gets a sack. It's his first sack, I think, in the NFL. It's towards the end of the season. When I say he's an up-and-comer rising, he was nothing. It was just he was randomly playing in a game, got a sack late in it, celebrates the sack, tears his ACL, never plays another snap in his life.
That's a good one. That's
bad.
That's a really good, that's a lot better than where I thought. The one that comes to mind for me is that, like, infamous 2008 Game 1 Finals, Paul Pierce.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But hold on now. Can we call that an embarrassing injury? Because I don't know that I consider that an injury,
the fact that he still talks about it, yes. And the reason I say that is because if you don't know what we're talking about, this is the wheelchair game from, the 2008 was this, Lakers Celtics. And Paul Pierce goes down. They bring a wheelchair out for him. They take him to the locker room.
But nobody knows why.
He comes back and finishes the game. But if you go and look at some of those photos, there's a little stain on the back of his
He pooped. I thought he recently admitted to it, no?
So there was a confession in 2019 where Paul Pierce on TV stated, I have a confession to make. I just had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
But this is where it gets a little bit worse, is because later on Showtime Basketball, he actually claims he sprained his MCL and did not ask for a wheelchair, backtracking on his whole ordeal. So why would you come out and say it and be like,
he pooped.
I'm just kidding.
He pooped.
You pooped yourself.
He pooped.
He pooped himself.
He pooped.
He pooped himself.
But again, I don't know that we can consider that an injury. I think that's one of the most, if not the most embarrassing sports moments, but that's not an injury.
In terms of him being told he sprained his MCL, that's where I throw it into the category, because it's almost the same thing, right? Where whether or not you want to admit that La Liga player flopped or not, I mean, sometimes you just got to say you sprained your MCL and go to the bathroom.
And we can agree that probably in both cases there were some marks.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. There's something that's going to be left over the day.
Than one.
Yeah. But I mean that.
Speaking of Mark, I did confirm Mark Sanchez did not injure himself on that play.
I didn't think so. I think
man, if there was ever a time to fake an injury, that would have been it.
That's it.
That would have been it.
Holding your head,
Missed
or
opportunity.
After the game, say you're playing on a sprained ankle or something, or you're concussed and skip the next game.
Well, hold on. This Mark brings up a good point here, though.
Okay.
Can we consider his latest injury a sporting-related injury? And it's very embarrassing.
You're talking about Mark Sanchez?
Yeah, who got stabbed outside of a bar for running his mouth and fighting with a drunkard. Yeah, I mean, that's allegedly.
Hold on. I think he actually went into like the guy's truck and pulled him. Pulled him out. I don't think
it was the day before a broadcast too, which is like
correct.
I feel like anything he does should just be looped into the category of it's sports, just so we can make fun of him.
Well, I mean, he's an was it CBS analyst or NBC?
I think CBS. Yeah.
Okay.
Not anymore.
I mean, no, he's probably still going to court for that. But
yeah,
I
would say R.I.P. But he's still kicking. He's still kicking old truck drivers.
Well, gosh, yeah, I don't know.
Allegedly.
I know the only other video I had to keep rolling with it was an MLB video, and this will kind of be really the only update I have for MLB, unless you got anything.
No.
But I don't know if you saw this. So this happened, I think, Saturday on the 30th. There were 3 people ejected from the Angels-Rays game.
I've seen this.
Yeah.
I have seen this.
Yeah.
And I also think
Adam,
that this is
pull it up.
like the best part of baseball, to be honest. I love this.
Well, we're waiting to see when this standoff is eventually going to end. Brett Suter and Chase Wilson have been out there for, I don't know, 7, 8 minutes.
How recent is this, though?
This is Saturday.
You're sure?
Yeah. Yeah.
What makes you say that?
I looked it up before I got here.
Suter is still on as we are awaiting the start of this game. And when will the first pitch be thrown?
Because this happens like every year.
Well, the standoffs do.
Yeah. Good. Toss them.
Lance Barrett says, see you later. And the standoff is over. The crew chief. That's always a good thing. Your pitcher, you have that edge going, you're ready to go out and compete, and you had to wait. So Brett Suter says,
I have an updated rule. I think if you're going to do that, you have to stay there the rest of the game. Cannot move.
Yeah,
You can only switch in between innings to go to the bathroom or dugout to grab some seeds, but at the start of every half inning, you better be standing there. Foul ball, I don't care. You've got to eat it. That should be the punishment. It shouldn't be throwing them out. It should just be, all right, well, you guys made your bet. You got to lie.
I think it's a safety issue. I think
that's my point. Who cares? You chose to do that.
You're
that's
standing on the field for opening pitch.
You signed your waiver. That's it. Sorry.
Okay.
That's my rule. It'll stop people from doing it the second one person gets hit with a foul ball. I'll tell you that much. Dude. You know I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
One person gets hit with a screamer down the line.
It does make me wonder, though. There were 2 mascots on the field with the Rays there. Why didn't they get ejected?
Who's to say they didn't?
Well, it only said 3 pitch. I guess that's a fair point.
Yeah, we don't know that they didn't. I didn't. It's possible. I know. Listen. I know that you can eject anybody if you're an ump. Anybody. You can eject a fan if you want, apparently.
You can do that.
I don't think a mascot's off limits. Is the baseball umpire the most power trip heavy sporting ref there is?
So I was Googling a question. Can you repeat that?
Are baseball umps the most power trip?
Without question. Without question. And this was a question I was going to bring up, and I answered it for myself. Yes, mascots can be ejected, by the way.
I told you.
There was the most famous
Anybody
occurrence. 1989 in August for the Montreal Expos. Montreal. UP?
UP, yep.
UP. Expos, yeah. Let me see. I wanted
Probably the Phillies. I'm guessing the Phillies were on the other side.
No, it was the Dodgers.
Well,
Yes.
that's good.
And UP was sleeping on top of the Dodgers dugout. So he gone.
How are you going to wake up UP while he's having a nap? That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Let the man sleep. Come on. Let the man sleep.
But without question. I know, and I wanted to pull it up and see, but I didn't bring it in. But I'm noticing there was at least one video that I saw of a player being ejected for trying to challenge a call, and the ump just wasn't having it, and he threw him out.
Yeah, well, something similar happened in a Cubs game, but I don't think they got ejected for it. I think it was Michael Bush was calling for a challenge, and immediately does the signal, but the the ump, I guess, doesn't see it or whatever the case, basically says, no, you waited too long. And it was very clear, he did this right away. It was an egregiously bad call. There's no reason that should not have been reviewed. And they didn't review it. He blew up, and I don't think anybody got ejected from it, but you're saying that somebody just got ejected?
Yeah.
And did they have any left though? That would be my question. Because
That's a good question.
I think that is if you don't have it,
stoppage.
then it's considered a stoppage, and that I think could be a ejectable. I don't know.
That's a good question.
I don't know. Just curious.
Gotta look it up. All these new rules that keep changing.
You're right, but I'm gonna say it. I think this is the best era of baseball I've ever been.
Oh
alive
yeah,
for.
1000%.
In terms of where the rules are at, where the game is at. I mean, not necessarily where the game's at in terms of the dynamics of power in the game, but overall, I love where the game's at. State of the game is good.
No, definitely.
And it's gonna be gone next year, so enjoy it now.
Yeah, the salary cap might be coming.
It's gone.
That is fair. That is the other bit of news I probably should have thought about today.
Did you see that article
I
too?
did.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's funny, there are 6 or 8 teams that are over the cap already.
Yep.
If they were to implement it.
And then they called out the floor being, what was it? There was some ruling in there about there is a competitive tax or whatever. It's it's a reverse luxury tax.
Let me
where
double check.
The owners get fined for every percentage that they're below the threshold.
It would be a hard cap of $245.3 million and a hard floor of $171.2 million.
But the hard floor, the way I read it was it's not necessarily a hard floor, but it's a luxury tax thing where if you fall below that, your ownership has to pay whatever stipends or whatever fines are associated with the amount below it. Does that make sense?
It
was like a reverse luxury tax, at least the article I read. And that could just be speculation, it could be nonsense, but it actually made a lot of sense to me because it doesn't necessarily instigate a full-on floor and whatever ramifications come with a full-on floor.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking, I'm scrolling.
You're just you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
Okay. Yeah, you've got a phone right next to you
bad
too,
audio,
man.
Bad audio.
Listen,
but go on.
But yes, there's a lot of teams I think who are opposing it right now. I think a few anyway. But I will say, if whether or not it happens, we're definitely getting a strike next year. There's no question about it now.
1,000%. 1,000%.
Yeah. I'm very curious. But anyway, while you look that up, that video we
Okay.
watched a few. Go ahead. You got it?
It's basically the owner's proposal was a hard salary floor of 171.2 million. Teams failing to meet the minimum payroll benchmarks would face punitive measures. Oh, okay. So that's the word that I read that doesn't make sense. Okay, no, here it is. The Players Association, that's where it's coming from. The Players Association proposed a competitive integrity tax. That's the one I was looking at. Basically, it's a competitive integrity tax that would be levied against teams that do not spend the minimum amount on payroll.
Okay.
So it's coming at it from two different lenses, but the answer is the same. Teams that don't hit that cap floor will face fines or punishment of sorts. Which, whatever, that's fine. But I don't hate the idea of doing like the salary incentive or whatever, competitive incentive tax if you're not below. Because I do think that you're going to have ownership like, White Sox or, Tampa Bay or one of these like really low level teams that are going to have something. You watch, in 5 years, they're going to have some sort of class action lawsuit against the MLB for, well, you guys priced us out of the sport. Like, this is ridiculous. So I like the optics of keeping it a tax rather than like a hard punitive measure. And it's like, well, you guys can choose to meet that or not, and you're only paying more out of pocket by not doing it. So that to me is where I see this heading. But what do I know?
Yeah, well, no, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what the strike brings. If granted, we've got a long time before that happens.
It's gonna be a strike though, and it's like there's. I don't know if you could boil it up. We're gonna keep the crystal ball on the shelf today here, but if you had to peer into your crystal ball and give me a percentage you think that we're gonna have an MLB season next year, or if we do have a season, how many games? Where are we at? Percentage wise, first on likelihood of a season in the first place.
40%.
40% we have it, or 40% it's canceled.
40% we have it.
I kind of think it's more likely than not we don't have baseball next year.
Yeah, that's I wanted to go 50-50 because obviously it's either a yes or no, but I'm leaning more towards the fact that we're not.
And that's what scares me.
I will say I feel like we'll probably get maybe around where COVID was. I want to say that was like around 80 to 100
You think
games.
80, 90, 100 games?
You would hope that it would only take, 60 games is 2 months, so you would hope that that's where they could resolve it at, but who knows, man? It might not happen until the All-Star break.
I was going to say, dude, like, do they have a number where it's like once we reach 45 games left to play, it's like we're not even going to have these meetings
That's
anymore?
a good question, though. I think, at least in terms of the math that I've done the last few years, I feel like usually, even though the All-Star break is only like a month and a half left, they still play around 60 to 80 games.
It's about half their games, yeah. That's where I'm just curious, like, what that threshold is for, like, season's just not worth it at this point.
Yeah.
And it's sad, dude. It's sad. I'm not, like, the biggest baseball guy on the face of the planet, but, like, there is nothing better than a day game. Even the one that we went to, which was really bad weather and whatnot, it was still great time.
Yeah.
There's no better summer day spent than in a ballpark on a weekend day. That's as good as it gets, and we're going to miss out on that next year. And that is what it is. It's the owner's fault, but really, I blame Jerry Reinsdorf.
I don't know, man. If you think about it, and this is the hypothetical I'd propose to the MLB, is even if there's only like 40 games left, roll it out there. Because
why not?
Just think about it, though.
Yeah, you could have like the Rays, clinching.
The few bad teams who maybe start hot and then just cool off right away.
They have a shot.
Hey, you might have the Rockies in the playoffs.
It could be the only
happens.
time that any of these teams have a shot.
Yeah.
If it happened this year, right? If we just played out the start of this year, but next year, whenever it inevitably starts, like White Sox would be a top seed.
They would. They would be winning the division if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I'm saying. Like they would have some home games already.
I'll pull up the standings right now.
I mean, it's an irrelevant point because it's all future based here, but like it is increasingly.
Well, technically, Cleveland is in first place in the Central right now,
but wouldn't, correct me if I'm wrong, wouldn't they still clinch it as a wild card? Am I crazy? Go to the full AL. Where are we at?
Wild card.
They should be. I think.
Yeah, they are the second.
That's what I was going to say. When I read it last, it was like if the season ended today, they would be in. Which, freaking get your cheers together now while you can, White Sox fans. It ain't going to last.
I mean,
Shut up.
Their youth movement's coming, man.
I know, dude. Mooney's a stud. I wish I had that guy so bad.
Well, he's only there for 2 years. There are other players that are coming up, though.
I know. And Mooney's so old, too. He's like 37.
He's 34.
He's like 80 years old, dude. Just trust me on that one. Don't verify.
No, I don't need to. Gosh.
But that's baseball, man. Baseball is enjoy this season. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. Am I wrong? Am I wrong for looking at this as like, this is the season before you probably are going to miss it next year, so just enjoy
Reel
it
it
while
in.
you can.
Reel it in. Yeah, soak it up.
Yeah, that's
Soak
kind of
it
what
up.
I'm taking it.
That's fair.
But
That's fair.
it is what it is. We're a football household in my house, so this is kind of irrelevant to me.
I get it. I get it. I think before, just in terms of where this should go, I had a point that I want to bring up next, but I probably should just jump to the one that's more important. The Stanley Cup Finals start tonight.
All right, are we talking football?
And that's it for NHL. Now we're going to get on to Wednesday, where the NBA Finals kicks off.
Yes.
And, dude, I didn't get to watch maybe the last quarter of that Game 7 Spurs Thunder. But, dude, first of all,
Unbelievable.
what a game.
What a game.
What a game.
What a series. Albeit,
And-
like, this was one of the more enjoyable series that, like, only one game was really even close.
Yeah.
Like, every other game was pretty much donezo in the last couple of minutes, maybe with the exception of Game 7 here. But, like, this was one of the more entertaining series of basketball that I've watched in years.
Yes. Yeah, I 1,000% agree
Awesome.
with you. And I mean, I know I was sitting in the chair behind my camera, and maybe a month ago I said they should let, if the Spurs and Thunder face off in the playoffs, they should let that determine the MVP, because Wemby looked more like the MVP than SGA did in that series. Now, granted, I understand, I know it. I know in the
So
back
you're
of
saying
my-
it should have been Jokic, is what you're saying.
Yeah, yes, obviously in theory, but if I had to pin it between SGA and Wemby, the only reason, and I'll be honest with it, because we didn't talk about it a few months ago, but the real reason I think Wemby probably got shorted was because of all the minute restrictions he was on.
Sorry, I
throughout
thought
the
that was
season.
funny how you said Wemby
short
and then
the tallest
short
player.
in the same
Yeah,
sentence.
exactly. Like what I did there, but
It's on me.
go ahead, take it.
Nope, you're good. Go. Airplane mode.
So, I mean, it's at this point I have no choice but to ride Spurs.
Oh.
I'm all on it. I'm all on it.
This series is like, okay, first and foremost, where are you at in terms of like what the series odds should be? Who is favorited right now in your mind? Don't look at the stats.
I'm not.
Don't look at the odds. I'm curious.
I feel like in terms of one team having more veterans, it should be New York.
Not
But
what I'm
it's-
asking.
Yes, but because they're playing at home, Game 1, Game 2, it is the Spurs. They do.
So
just
you think,
technically have
yeah?
an
So
advantage at
you
that
would
point.
say, and I would argue that the general population would agree. And I'm
they
not
are.
saying I'm any different because I also share this bias. But like, I don't think people understand how good this Knicks team has been this playoff run.
No. Now, sure, you could sit there and say that they're on 11-0 run. Spurs, even though they're young, they still have the veteran leadership in the locker room
Is
right
it a
now.
12-0 run now? Am I crazy?
No. If they win,
They just
tonight,
haven't
it would
played.
be.
They just haven't played that long tomorrow.
Yeah. So I don't know. Wembanyama's taken a lot of counseling with Popovich. He's been though he's taken a back seat because of his health issues. He's still there. He's still talking with the team. You still have Robinson. You still have Manu Ginobili. You still have Tim Duncan, who are kind of talking with the team.
That
I'm
means
just saying,
nothing to me.
No,
That
it
means
doesn't.
nothing to me.
But
Experience over like wisdom, in my opinion.
1,000%.
And again,
1,000%.
I'm not sitting here saying that the Knicks have any sort of experience per se.
in the finals, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't know, dude. Like, I genuinely think that you would have had a better chance of beating New York if it was OKC. But I think New York should be favored in this series.
yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
Just like, again, I'm not, and I'm not trying to sit here and negate, the what are we calling him? He's not the Greek freak. So like, what is Wemby's nickname other than just Wemby or
The alien. The alien.
Yeah, but that's like I don't know. There's got to be a better one out there, like
The Eiffel Tower?
Slenderman. I don't know who knows, but
It's not, but,
I know.
Well, Slenderman is...
whatever. It's beside the point. I guess where I'm going with it is like he's got this lore and this aura about him, and it's the Spurs, and I think that people have this recency bias over like the 10-year run they had in the early 2000s. My only point is like I think that the New York Knicks, and I can't believe this is coming out of my mouth, but I think the New York Knicks are criminally being underrated in the series.
No, I would agree. And I think I want to say I said it 2 episodes ago, but I don't think we ever got to that point. I think the biggest struggle for San Antonio in at least the series with Oklahoma was the depth. They could not keep up the bench.
The second
OKC.
Wemby left the court, it was like except for Game 7. Game 7, the Spurs were better without Wemby on, which is kind of crazy.
Sure. But in terms of OKC,
Yeah.
they are a very deep team.
Yes.
And I think people forget that the New York Knicks are a very deep team.
Yeah.
So I just, no matter what happens, what defensive switch they try to put on a certain player, there's going to be someone, Miles McBride.
Yep.
Well, Josh Hart's a starter, but
I was gonna say, yeah, you gotta.
Yeah, no. But Jordan Clarkson, I mean, he's even out there. Granted, he's not. He could have been a lot better than what I thought. But at beginning of the season, when I was betting on him, he was hot dog water. But I agree with you. I think this is still going to be a fun series to watch. I hope it's a fun series to watch.
I do, but like my gut tells me this, and this is going to sound shocking. I think New York is more likely to sweep them 4-0 than San Antonio is to win the series.
Wow.
That's like I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing something wrong here, but like I think people are criminally underrating how good this New York Knicks team is, and it's taking a lot out of me to say that, dude. If Nate were here, he'd be up in arms about this comment right now.
Here's where I think Nate would make a point to, even though he'd be more kind of just, I'm going to hate to hate.
Yeah.
I'm going to hate with somewhat I think is a statistic, is I don't think New York has played minus Cleveland, a very solid team in the playoffs. I mean,
True.
Philly getting past Boston should not have happened. It did.
Counterpoint.
But
Counterpoint.
go ahead.
Are the Spurs tired for facing in a 7-game series the best team in the league?
You see this a lot, though, between whether it's, granted, I'll probably bite my tongue here, between hockey or baseball, when one of those teams has that time to rest and cool off. Sometimes those teams that go to the game 7 or 6 play a little bit better.
Do you know what the actual stat is?
No, do you?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead. What is it?
The
'Cause I'm glad-
actual, and I don't have the exact percentages, but the actual stat is that the team that wins a game 7 against a team that's coming off of a sweep, 9 times out of 10, I'm exaggerating, but like more likely than not, wins game 1 but loses the series. That's you could look that up. It's like they're more likely to win game 1 because they're still fresh. They're they don't have any rust about them. The winners of a 4-game sweep have some time. They're, light or whatever. They shake the rust off in game 1 traditionally, so they lose that one. But now the whole rest versus, body degradation kind of wears on you. That's my theory on it. But like if you look at the stats, teams coming off of a sweep typically lose game 1 but win the series or have better odds in the series. Again, all of this, throw it out the window, because I think all of this is missing a very key variable. This is a long equation, right? Picture, doing the math thing. You got all these numbers, algebraic formulas coming out of my head here.
Okay.
The formula is like this long, and the one variable that you really can't calculate for is Victor Wembanyama. And you can throw all the stats out as long as that guy is healthy in a 7-game series. I think his team will always have a chance. So that's where it's like, to me, it's a crapshoot. And he could drop 40 and 30 on your head any given night, or he could go for 15 and 15 and really not make that big of an impact. Which is crazy to say that 15 and 15 is not that big of an impact.
But
like,
it's
you get
to
my
the point. And all the announcers, I mean, you name it, they all said Wemby has to come out aggressive.
Yep.
And the games that they struggled or took an L,
is the one
he
that
did
he's
not come
flat.
out
Yep.
very aggressive.
Exactly.
So
that's what I'm saying. He's the major X factor, and I think that like you can sustain it. In a 4-game series, you can sustain that energy. But like, can you, as a 22-year-old, bring that day in, day out for 2 straight 7-game series?
Well, and here's the question you
I
gotta
don't think
ask
so.
yourself too, because whether or not, I mean, you would assume and you would hope that Wemby's going to be aggressive in all of these games. It's gonna probably tire him out. But let's just say, even if the Knicks sweep 4-0, could Wembanyama still win Finals MVP and just Jerry West?
I don't think if they sweep 4-0, no. But if they lose like in a 7-game series, then yes. Absolutely, yes.
Okay, all right.
I think anything more than 5 games, and you do open up that can of worms. But I think 4 is like, yeah, I mean, is it possible? Sure. If he's dropping like 50 points a game for 4 straight games and getting a triple-double with like 10 blocks, then yeah, you can't argue it.
No.
I just don't think that you get swept as the Spurs if he has even one of those games that's like MVP of the finals caliber. You get my point?
No, I'd agree.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But like I do like the matchup between Cat and Wemby, and like seeing how that, because the Cat is not a traditional big man.
No,
and I think like the last one being Chet, that which also is not a traditional big man, kind of looked pedestrian against Wemby. I don't think Cat's going to look pedestrian.
Yeah, Chet Chet Holmgren
Chet
is not
looked bad.
who we thought he was.
No. He's not who he thought he was.
It was somewhere in the second quarter. You could see the exact moment
Where he
that
was-
he just
It's over.
it's done.
It's
and he
over.
checked out and
Yep.
it was gone and
Yep.
it was a nothing burger. Yeah,
That was his entire series, but like, yeah, you're right. In Game 7, there was a very distinct
very
moment. I
clear
remember
moment.
it.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
But the corgi has its prediction in.
Oh, that thing. I don't trust that thing. That
He
thing
got
has been wrong
every-
so wrong.
He went 7 for
It is
7
so-
in the Spurs OKC. Now, I'm not going to ride on this, but I think you got to acknowledge it and hang the collar in the rafters because his prediction is Spurs in 7. I shouldn't say his. I actually don't know if it's a boy or a girl dog, but
No.
yeah.
No. I don't buy it at all. I don't buy it at all.
Just saying.
That dog has been on so many wrong losing edges. That dog is not even at 50%.
Currently,
but
though,
one time.
I think that dog has a better record than the little toddler who was predicting the football playoffs,
This is true.
NFL playoffs.
But
I'm-
let's use that as the piece of evidence here that says maybe we shouldn't just blindly put our faith into a. I don't want
I
to say
didn't
an
put money
animal
on it.
because the kid was not an animal, but like you get my point.
probably bites like an animal.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Just chomps at people's ankles.
jeez,
Oh man.
I'm excited to watch that.
I am too.
I'm
I am
so
too.
ready for it. Yeah, I mean that's really it for NBA at this point. Unless you got any other,
I don't
any
think
other
so.
tidbits.
No, I don't think so. Other than just like we said, it's been one of the more entertaining. I will say, I think this is like spawning back like the era of hatred. Like I don't remember there being a rivalry like the OKC and Spurs rivalry that just started right now, like in the series. But like, tell me I'm wrong in seeing that that's not like a 10-year-long rivalry between those two.
Well,
clubs.
in terms of how much youth,
Yeah.
they both have. There's definitely that definitely is.
There's just a lot of
is
bad
there
blood,
again.
and I'm all for it. I think there needs to be more of this in sports.
I think now and again you could sit there and say he had his health issues and yada yada yada. But I think at least the one that I can think of off the top of my head in the last 5 years would be Philly and Boston.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's
But like I always felt like Philly kind of was always the little brother.
well, yeah, of course.
And I got the
course.
vibe. I got the vibe going into the series that the Spurs are going to be the little brother to OKC for a long time. No. It might be the other way around,
It's
but
gonna be
like
neck
I
and neck,
also
but-
I don't know. I think if you ran that series to 100 games, it's like 49-51.
Well, that series in particular, but now you got the problem with OKC right now where they're going to
Yeah.
have to pay another
Yeah.
player.
Yeah.
And I don't think Jalen Williams is going to get a contract. Now, he could be that guy and take a cut to be there.
He was also he wasn't playing
had an injury.
anyways,
He had an
right?
injury.
I know, that's my point. And as
Yeah.
competitive as the series was, okay, you lose Williams next year. It's like, all right, well, it's the same freaking series. Obviously, there's more people. I get your point, but like, I don't know. I feel like as long as the cores for both of those teams are there, and I think they will be for a long time to come. That is a great rivalry,
Oh,
and
1000%.
I love it. We're getting hatred back into sports. That's what we need. That's what we need.
There's going to be a lot of competition coming up between NBA, some NFL. There were some trades, some signings that went down this week that...
Are we just going right into NFL?
Do you have another sport you wanted to yap about?
No, I don't know. I thought you were going to continue to talk. Okay, fine, whatever.
No, it's fine. No, I'm cool.
done
I'm
yapping.
cool
I'm
because-
yapping, guys. I'm yapping about sports.
We're all yapping.
I got another.
We're yapping?
No,
For Chet?
Brandon, I don't have another sport I want to yap about. Let's talk NFL.
All right. Okay. So there was a series.
Lot.
Really, I shouldn't say a series.
Can we trade? Can we trade? Can you get one drop and then I get one drop? Which one do you want to start with?
Go ahead. I've got it for either or. So.
Number one, obviously, is the biggest news I thought of the weekend of the week. Myles Garrett traded
And
to
that's
the
where I
Los
would've started.
Angeles Rams for Jared Verse. And I saw one first rounder at first, but am I mistaken in saying there was two first rounders
No.
in
So
there?
as of right now, it is Jared Verse, a 2027 first round pick, a
second
2028
and a
second
third.
rounder, plus additional compensation
I
that's
saw
not yet named.
I saw Jared Verse, a 1, 2, and a 3
Okay.
in that order. And I later saw somebody trying to do that exact same trade, but in Madden. You know how
And
they
they
do
say
that.
no. Of
And it's
course.
like, it says no, but they offered him 2 firsts and Jared Verse. And that's where I was kind of like speculating, like, are they valuing the second and the third as a first, or was there actually an extra first? But long and short, blockbuster trade, which did not think was going to happen at all.
No. There were a lot of people.
But it's a win-win. It's a win-win. I think it's a rare win-win, dude. Who do you think got the better end of the deal?
Dude, the Rams. The Rams. Listen.
Wrong. Wrong.
Oh, go ahead.
Jared Verse, a two-time Pro Bowler when he's only played 3 seasons in a premier position, he's proven he can do it. I would argue he's proven he can do it at a premier level, too. You have the Browns, who have basically an entirely turned over roster, as is, customary for that city and team pretty much every third year. They're turning their roster over, trying to get younger. They get rid of arguably their best player of all time, their cornerstone, yada, 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 for a player that's 10 years younger, plus a future first, plus a second and a third, and all this. I think it's more even than you're lending onto. But I don't know that I would blindly give it to the Rams. I would almost argue that Cleveland got the better end of the deal.
So here's why I'm going to give it to the Rams.
Plus the cap hit.
The cap hit for sure. But it is LA. They do find ways to work around certain things, whether or not.
This is true.
But
they also haven't had a first round pick in 12 years almost. Last year was the first round. They don't care about
They
those
are
things.
on record for getting them picks.
That may as well just been Jared Verse, a second and a third, because they weren't looking at that first anyways.
No.
So, yeah, in that case, you are right. The Rams did fleece them.
But in that case, too, you are sending the defensive player of the year, a player who set the record for sacks last year.
In his what season? In his 35th year season,
no,
34th?
It's actually not.
I know he's younger than that. It's crazy. That's the
he's
scary
been in
part.
the NFL for. Come on, I want to say 9. He is 30.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, I didn't mean his 30th season. I meant his 34th year season. You know what I mean? But whatever. Either way, I was wrong.
This will be
his
10th year. But
he's 30 years old. He's getting over, and I would argue the track record on any defensive lineman that sets that sack record, they never repeat it, dude.
The thing is whether or not you repeat it, you're still sending arguably one of, if not the best defensive player currently in the NFL to a well-run organization. You've got a good GM, you've got a prominent head coach, and then you're sending Jared Verse. Now, I did take some stats down. So just to your point, will he repeat this? I don't know. But last year, Myles Garrett posted a 24% and some change pass rush win rate. Yeah. He was among the NFL's elite. Also, the only edge rusher reportedly double-teamed over 50% of the time.
Are you just reading this off of somebody else's notes?
No, it's my notes right here.
I don't like that you added in that part about one of the NFL's elites. That makes it seem like you're reading off a script.
Well, it's my script.
I know. You don't need to add that, though. That makes it feel like you're just copying and pasting off an ESPN article instead of finding...
as a matter of fact, it wasn't.
Fine, whatever. It's clearly semantics, but
He's without question, though. If you're going to sit there and say top 3 defensive ends, I would argue the top 3 at that point would be an elite player to add to your team.
I would argue he's the number 1, but that's
what I'm saying.
The point.
That's my
point.
Yes, he is the best. I would... Anyway.
I think Jared Verse is... Where do you rank him, I guess? And that's the question.
Where do I rank Myles Garrett?
Jared Verse.
I'm sorry. In terms, he was an edge rusher last year.
Every year,
between top 5 and top 15.
Same. But let's say he is top 5.
Okay.
How young is he?
Off the top of my head, he's 20.
He's about 23, 24, I think.
Yeah.
So he's got about 7 years of age on Myles Garrett. He's got the contract that favors the Browns for building up, a young core around it. They also get the first round draft pick, which, it's not going to be much, but now they have multiples that they can package to move up even further, right? They're one of 3 teams, I think, that have multiple first round picks next year. They have a young core. They have, again, I'm not sitting here saying that it's not a major loss for Myles Garrett. I just think that if you were to plug in any sort of pass rusher in his stead, Jared Verse is an absolutely adequate replacement for that man.
No, absolutely. I'm not going to shun that.
You get younger,
at all.
You get a lower salary hit, you get the draft compensation, and your team is really basically saying to everybody in their fan base, guys, this is it. We're turning over a new leaf here. We got rid of our head coach last year. We got Todd Monken in now. What?
Go ahead.
What? You're going to bring up a quarterback situation. I get that, but
that's not what I was going to say, but keep going.
You're rolling your eyes as if what I'm saying is not true at all, but it is absolutely true.
Yeah, they turned over the new leaf as soon as they cleaned house. It wasn't just Jared Verse, but yes, I mean, if the writing wasn't on
Yes.
the wall, it's on all 4 walls at this point.
I know, but this is to me no different than what the Bulls did with Billy Donovan. Sorry, let me rephrase this. It's entirely different than what they did with Billy Donovan.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's what I'm gonna say. It's the antithesis. They could have been like, yeah, we're gonna bring in a whole new regime, coaching staff, all this stuff like that. But Myles Garrett, we're keeping him around. I've seen this playbook so many times, dude. As a Bears fan, as a Bulls fan, as a fan of a lot of fledgling franchises, I have seen it one too many times where people are so enamored by a name that they keep them longer than they should when everybody is.
I won't disagree with that.
And so, like, I think this is a good turning signal for Cleveland to say, guys, we've exhausted it. We've done the Myles Garrett route, and it got us 0 playoff success, 0 at all. Okay, obviously he wasn't the problem with the team, but how do we leverage his value to better this team in other areas that we simply cannot with him on it? And that's my point is you get rid of the cap hit, you add the flexibility in the draft stock, and you bring in and backfill that position with a young, talented stud of an edge rusher in Jared Verse.
Yeah,
I think they made out pretty handsomely in this deal, but I also think the Rams now are the Super Bowl favorites. So it's like,
yeah, of course.
My whole comment, this to me is as close to a win-win as I've seen in a long time.
That's where my thing is going to be. Obviously now I have some personal disregard on Jared Verse for his phantom face mask on Sam Darnold that never got called. But
I do remember that game very vividly. Was this before or after Darrisaw got injured?
This was
before. After, yeah, because this was like the last play of the game, wasn't it?
Actually, no. This may have been, if not the same play, within the same drive. I think. Yeah.
Vikings knowledge.
I think it was because I was probably like
it's not
screen
Vikings
texting
knowledge,
you.
people. It's not Viking knowledge. I just know all the things that piss him off.
Yeah. So anyway, my big thing, and we'll kind of see as the year plays on. Now, to your point, he's not going to get an extension this year. He doesn't need to be.
No.
But yes, they lost Kevin Stefanski, and that might be their offensive issue. But they also got rid of Jim Schwartz last year.
Yeah.
Did you know?
Yeah, I know that. Defensively, that's also part of the reason why I think it's a good trade for them.
Yeah, well, and now this is going to be my hope for if I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. They did hire Mike Rutenberg to be the defensive coordinator, and last year he did set a franchise record with Atlanta with 57 sacks.
Yep.
So that's where you got to put your hope and your chips on, and hope it kind of works out.
But like let's do away with stats. I don't care about stats. If you're in Cleveland, you care about winning. Period. That's it. You can't, you're Cleveland. You can't care about anything other than the wins and losses. If all you're caring about is stats, like, that's sad. But you get my point, though, is like, I don't think the sacks are, like, clearly you set the single season record and you didn't clinch a playoff seed at all. You weren't even close. I just think that, like, let's focus on winning with a well-rounded team as opposed to setting records on the defensive line. My 2 cents. But who knows? I'm not a coach. They don't pay me like that. I'm in the market, though. If any one of those 32 teams want to reach out, I'm available.
We can give it a try.
You would let me be poached, right?
Well, I think we
would you sign my release papers? If I got,
I'll run it up. I'll run it up to HR.
You wouldn't just immediately, if an
Listen,
NFL franchise offered me a job, you wouldn't just immediately be like, you know what, go. You're free.
Grass is greener.
You're free.
Go on now, get.
Let me a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
I don't know.
Oh God, that was my scoop. Sorry, that was a long-winded way to scoop Myles Garrett to the Rams.
And add the second scoop on top of it. The one we all knew about. It's the vanilla to the chocolate.
Yep.
AJ Brown was traded to the Patriots.
Did you see his totally fake edited Photoshop picture?
Now, I don't know if it was actually him who posted it, but it was AI. It was a Nike jersey.
Totally BS. Nike didn't make those jerseys.
Facing the same way.
And they didn't make the Nike jerseys for the Patriots until 2012.
Correct.
He would have been 15 years old in 2012.
And that would have been an old baby.
That is an old baby.
That would have been a very old baby.
Yeah, that one was funny to me. That was funny to me.
Yeah.
I thought it was him that posted it, by the way.
It could have been. I didn't go through
You know
Instagram
damn
and
well
but
somebody at the Patriots organization was like, on the marketing side, like, hey, here's a picture. Put this
that up
online.
there,
Yeah. Without actually thinking about the implications
And
of
then
it.
on
But that
top of
one's
it, to
not
put
really news.
a P. Diddy song in the post was spicy take. Coming home.
OBJ. Like, all right, did that?
Yes, but that's not what I was That'll come later. We're
Okay.
just gonna put the baby oil down and slide to that real quick. But we got to get through the AJ Brown stuff first.
What do you mean coming home?
AJ Brown in that photo, in his Instagram photo, he put the song "Coming Home" by P Diddy.
Oh, I'm already-
But yes, I guess because we're jumping, OBJ did reunite with the Giants,
That's
but
what I
back
thought
to
you were
AJ
saying.
Brown.
Oh, come on. This is we've been talking about this trade for 2 months.
Well, they got the first round pick that they wanted, which
Yeah.
we didn't know if they were going to give.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You got no thoughts on that? You're right. We have been talking about it for a while. But
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like we've already covered this multiple times, but all right, I'll say this.
Okay.
I think the Patriots need an AJ Brown. I think they couldn't afford to keep him in Philly. I think the Patriots probably make out better than Philly, but I also don't know that I'd value AJ Brown as a first round talent and where he's at in his career.
I would 1,000% agree. I don't think it was deserved to have a first round
Yeah.
pick, but there are some stats that I noticed.
But if you're banking on it being a late first rounder, though, that's where it kind of dissuades it. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, I mean, just in terms of the division they're playing in terms of the conference they're playing in, you got to go back and look at AJ Brown in his tenure with the Titans and the Eagles. I mean, yes, he already has a rapport with Mike Vrabel there, but AJ Brown actually, believe it or not, elevates the rush game.
I
1,000%.
know that.
Yeah,
I'm not. You're not going to hear me arguing that.
No, of course. The reason I'm saying this is because this is a stat that I didn't know.
And I don't have the stat on it, but I would argue that Stephon Diggs takes the run game down. He just has the aura that he is not a blocking wide receiver. Sorry, that's maybe I'm reading too far into it. I don't have any stats to back that one up, but tell me I'm wrong.
I would love to look at that.
Stephon Diggs is the epitome of a non-blocking wide
I
receiver.
might have to bring that up next time.
I don't think I'm too far off. Whatever.
No,
We'll get to stats.
But so AJ Brown in his 7 years so far in the NFL, 2019 Titans, their rush offense ranked third. In 2020, the rush offense ranked second. 2021, fifth. 2022 with the Eagles, fifth. 2023 with the Eagles, eighth. 2024 with the Eagles, fourth. Last year was kind of an anomaly. They were 14th, but the Eagles had multiple struggles.
Yeah. Ooh, who's carrying the ball?
Now, this is the follow-up point. Yes, so in Tennessee, he had Derrick Henry. In Philly, not the first year.
I was going to say, there was a couple of years, or at least 1 year in Philly that he didn't have, was it DeAndre Swift then?
DeAndre Swift was there. There was also another name, but it was mainly DeAndre Swift.
Still a good running back, but
still.
certainly not a Saquon, certainly not a Derrick Henry.
And then Saquon came in those technically 3 years, but 2, 8th, and 1st.
Yeah.
But now you got to go to and think about the 2026 Patriots.
Travion Henderson,
Stevenson.
Yep.
Personally, I think Henderson's going to get the biggest boost out of it.
I do too.
But those running backs, if I'm telling
those
this now
are
to a lot of people,
grinding running backs too.
Yes.
Like they would benefit from that.
it will not matter if you're playing fantasy football. Those I don't know if they're both 2 to 5 round.
That's a wide array.
Okay, fine. I'll just put it this way. I think if either one of I would say I don't think Ramondre is a second or third round
No.
pick. But if for any reason those
think
guys are there
Travion
past
could
the
be-
5th round,
I was gonna say, yeah.
those are really good picks.
Both of those guys,
Really good picks.
both of those guys are not your premier, but I think that they're good enough that by the end of the year we'll be talking about them in the top 10.
I don't know if I'd elevate AJ Brown, especially at his age as an aging receiver going to New England and giving them the effect of the Detroit Lions duo running back the last 2 years. But I think it's very important, and I think that you're going to see improvement, and the run game was the best part about the Patriots last year.
Yeah, that's one. You could argue that was one of their better aspects. I'd argue they didn't have a coach that was in media very often last year, but what do I know?
He was occupied.
I know.
He was very occupied.
That story's not going to die. As long as I'm walking the face of this earth, that story will have legs.
No. Although, and now I guess
There's no distractions last year.
Correct.
We'll just say that.
I will bite my tongue on record, at least, because in 2025, the Patriots finished 4th overall in offensive ranking.
Yep.
But they did finish 15th in run. So
that
number is going to go up. They're not going to be middle of the pack anymore, without question.
Yeah.
Without question.
I think Drake Maye is also, and I'm glad Nate's not here to hear this because I couldn't stand the level of hate I'm about to get. I think Drake Maye is in for a regression year.
Well, the Patriots entirely are in it for a
I know, and it's got the makings of I'm saying this very, very lightly, right? Because I understand who I'm talking about when I say this about the Patriots, right? this has the makings of a clown organization with like all of the media debacles over the offseason and this trade and how it's like, well, we knew about it 2 months ago. And it's just got, there's a lot of like, I'm used to being from a clown organization, a fan of a clown organization. This is what clown organizations do. I'm just saying that. Nate, don't hate me. Don't impale me with the golf cart. That's what I'll say. It's an inside joke.
We get it. I got it.
You guys called me on
Adam
that, though.
You said you weren't. But anyway.
The verbiage, though. Whatever. Go on.
Yeah, no. So, we'll see. And to your point, though, we all knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
They're definitely, and you could say whatever the news, the circus, the media you want to say. But I also, and I think, I don't know the statistic on it, but I'm pretty sure that the runner-up Super Bowl Super Bowl team typically gets a pretty, I don't think it's the hardest schedule in terms of ranking, but I think
the Bears have the hardest, so.
Yeah, well,
it's bogus. It is what it is, man. The world's out to get us. You guys got also like a top 5, but that's just the nature of the beast being in the NFC North. Sorry. We can agree on that, bro. We got the best division in football.
Well, yeah, but
most exciting.
It's funny. I didn't have this in my notes.
God damn it.
Touchdown.
We did it. We did it, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry. I put my phone on silent. I wanted to keep that on.
Is that a timer or?
Well, I feel like that was the light bulb going off that you couldn't see for me. There's been a trend. It's not even a trend. I'm seeing the smoke before everyone else is seeing it. And as a Vikings fan, I feel like I have to say this. And I feel like as a Bears fan, you're probably going to get a good laugh out of this conspiracy. Vikings are in a state of emergency right now. It is official for me.
With the quarterback situation?
And I'll tell you why.
I think I can. Okay, go on.
I'll tell you why.
I feel like there's a lot of possible explanations, but
there are 3 quarterbacks in our room right now who, I'll let it drop while I'm doing this, declare by their numbers a state of emergency.
Yeah,
you start off with Carson Wentz, Jesus. No, you start off with J.J. McCarthy at 9. You start off with Carson Wentz, who is a former 1. And then you bring in Kyler Williams, who is now and was 1. And that 9, 1,
What are
1.
their numbers right now, though?
I feel like Carson is 11.
That's, yeah.
But, well,
You got it.
oh, yeah, of course.
It would be better. It would be comic.
He is number 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would be perfect then if Kyler Murray was number 2 and stood 3rd in line, just with a little space.
Yeah. Oh.
9-11 too.
No. But
Sorry.
No.
That'd been funny though.
We'll see. Well, I really hope it works out.
It's not.
No, it's not.
It's
not going to.
I can tell you again with experience, when you have 3 quarterbacks, it means you don't have one.
Carson Wentz is not going to be in anywhere close to contention.
I know. He'll be playing for the UFL by next year.
Yeah, but it's still just hearing how both of them are talking about practice right now at OTAs.
I have a take.
Yeah,
I have
go
a
ahead.
Vikings take, actually. And
All
I
right.
want to hear from your perspective as a Vikings fan, because this, I think, is my own bias getting to me. Or it's just everybody photoshopping. But does Kyler Murray look way smaller in the Vikings purple than he did ever in Arizona?
No.
He his new he looks smaller in the Vikings uniform, and it could be that I'm just getting duped and everybody's photoshopping everything I'm seeing online. But like, he looks like he's gotten smaller.
Honestly, it's a good. I'll have to go in and look at it.
I feel like I'm going nuts here, and I'm like, is the football bigger in Minnesota or is he just smaller?
Well, the players are probably a little bit taller.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Man.
I got the vibes that like, if he didn't, lose a couple inches, he certainly lost a couple pounds. He looks small.
Well, but it's also without pads, so that might be
that could be weighing
that could
into
be a
it.
big
yeah,
one.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I want to know what everybody else's take is on that one, because it does look like he's gotten smaller.
We'll take a peek.
Yeah.
We'll see what's going on. But
Now, is that all the breaking news for NFL? Because did you hear the latest and greatest?
I did
just
have
like a what the hell.
I did have one that's also kind of
It's
like
the
that.
what the hell one.
I think, but go ahead. What do you got?
Does it involve one of the teams that we've already talked about?
No.
Oh, well then it's a different what the hell.
Go ahead then.
Aaron Donald.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. I think.
Can I preface it? Can I just preface it all by saying, if you actually believe this, you are. There's a choice word I want to say here, but I can't.
I'll help you out. It's a nothing burger.
It is a nothing.
nothing burger.
Not the choice word I would have used there, We'll leave it at that.
But you're welcome.
It's a nothing burger.
It's
but
a nothing
what
burger.
the hell are we talking about?
Come
But
on,
yeah, that was
people.
silly. Aaron
Come on.
Donald texting Pat McAfee or whatever. That
Which
"It's
we don't
got
even
me
know if
thinking
it's a
about
real
our
one.
retirement."
Post a screenshot
I
if
know.
it's real.
It's all
Come on.
bogus. He's just drumming up tension for nothing.
Of course.
What is your other one? I'm curious.
There was a running back last year who was on, technically not. They never technically put him on the IR, but he should have been at the minimum 4 weeks. And we are sitting here June 2nd, 2026, and he is still not cleared to play. Bucky Irving is still
no.
injured.
So
And-
was Malik Neighbors.
Well, they went in. There's at least news with that.
Yes.
That's where I will say with that. I mean,
He looks bad.
Bucky, well,
They both do. I
Bucky
haven't seen
Irving,
Bucky, though.
he's still not clear for training camp. There was 2 conflicting reports that came out for me. So yesterday, I'm finding out he's still not clear for training camp. He should be expected, according to Todd Bowles, between the summer or the fall. But I read a report today that Adam Schefter came out and said that he will likely be ready at some point during training camp, which is
not
set to
good.
begin June 16th. So we officially, to this date, have 2 weeks to see
That's not good.
is there even going to be an update.
That's not good. I
No.
don't think so.
No.
All right, it's going to come off insensitive, but I have to speak my mind because I have no filter. Bucky is the name of a guy that does, unfortunately, not joking, all thoughts and prayers. Bucky is the name of a sports player that retires early due to injury. I'm sorry. That's like when I hear the name Bucky, I'm just thinking, oh, that's a guy that could have had a Hall of Fame career, but the injuries. Just the name Bucky. Like I said, it has no bearing on Bucky Irving, specifically no bearing on it. Just the name alone, Bucky, strikes me as the kind of guy that could have been the GOAT if it wasn't for all the injuries. I don't know. That's just where my mind goes. Again, I only say it because I have zero filter and I can't shut it off. I cannot.
Do you? Well, it's technically
It's a
not.
problem.
No.
But right,
trying-
am I crazy? Am I crazy? Do I? Let me broaden my question to you. Are there names that just inherently lend themselves to that guy should have been named something different because now he's going to get injured? I think back to the Benchwarmers movie, I think is what it was. You know what I'm talking about?
You just lost your membership at Video Spot.
Yeah, no,
well-
not the Benchwarmers then. Not the Benchwarmers. Whatever the one about the football is. It's like ACL Terry. Asil Terry was the guy's name. He's like, oh, let's go ACL Terry. He's like, don't call me that, sir. And then he tears his ACL.
man.
But are there names that just inherently scream this guy's got this?
I can think of one that kind of flirts that line for you. Do you by chance know the name Marcus Dupree?
Yes. Marcus, if you go by Marcus, yes, that's a guy that his name should be injured immediately.
Well,
Yeah. Name me another Marcus that isn't injured. Can't do it.
I'll come back.
Name me another Bucky that isn't injured right now. Can't do it. Point proven. Hey, that's 1 point in my book. Quit looking it up.
I'm not. I was gonna look up another name that wasn't. Glenn Bias, is that a name that we're thinking of too? Am I just throwing something out there? Granted, he didn't get injured. Something else kind of happened.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So
It was not Glenn Bias, by the way.
no, I know that's. I was
Len.
trying to Len.
Len.
That's why I want. Dude, you let me bite my tongue. That's what I was trying to Google. And you said stop, and I'm like, okay, my bad. My bad.
Well, you already messed up by typing in the G.
Well, it would have been. Did you mean?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
But-
no, that Glenn, fine. You'll have a great career. Len, you're not even going to make one play on the court.
Unless it's Leonard.
Well, go by Leonard then. Yeah. Fournette, fine. Doesn't go by Len. So, there you go. Point proven. I'll take that one.
I mean, that's really everything that I had. You got any other stories you wanted to hit on?
No. I think we got it all.
Nope.
I feel like there is something out there that I'm just blanking on, but
There was a few things that I think floated around, but I think we've got some time between now
Yeah.
and the next time because I think there's going to be a gap next week where we're not recording. So we've got Bucky
fine.
Irving has 2 weeks. We have 2 weeks. Will we get any updates from Bucky Irving? Will I stop saying names wrong?
I might. No. Oh, God.
No, I'm just saying, what's going to happen first?
Some things are bound to stay the same forever.
Yeah.
I might send you just a this is where I'm insane, like clinically, but I might send you guys just like a video of me like ranting and raving to myself about the latest sports topics, pretending like I'm giving the updates.
And then we should actually just text Nate and make episode 39 just a bunch of selfies that are just us just exactly in no correlation.
have Nate put it together though. It's like, here you go, Nate, edit these all.
Well, it'll still be me one way or another. But
that's classic.
I'll at least be with our producer while we're out and about. So I'll just have him set up the camera, and I'll be the only one who's like TikTok, but like not the selfie in the face because I don't have.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'll do it too. I'll send you some video clips.
Okay.
And then how about we do that? How about we just do the segment where you talk about something, and then I assume what you're talking about without actually knowing what you're talking about, and be like, yeah, actually, Brandon, you're wrong about this because of X, Y, and Z. And it just has no relation to what you said at all.
No, honestly, I think episode 39 could just be a crapshoot, an absolute crapshoot.
Yeah,
maybe we won't be taking a break.
No other episode has been a crapshoot at all. We're very structured on this one.
And if you want to go prove us wrong, go check out the other videos. Go check out the TikToks. Subscribe to the channel.
Like the program.
Comment on the program. Let us know. Tell us what you think. Make fun of us. Don't care. Do it.
Tell your friends. Tell your family. Don't tell a criminal. We don't like those in this podcast.
Tell your mailman.
Tell your mailman. I like that.
Yeah, 'cause maybe he'll tell some people and when he goes door to door.
Tip your garbage men. That's an important thing. Tip your garbage men.
Yeah. Get them some sweet treats.
For real though, we've got good garbage people in this neighborhood.
Never had
I'm
a problem.
just gonna say that.
Never had a
You don't
problem.
live in this neighborhood.
I mean, I still live a town over.
You guys got different. Trust me. Your
we
waste
do.
management's not the same.
definitely
My
do.
guys swing back around the block after I am late putting a dumpster out there. Shout out.
That is very big.
I know. I genuinely was like, I want to run him a $20 bill right now. Just be like, you just keep serving me like this forever, okay? If you don't see my cans out here, do another lap. They'll be out. That's a guy that has my back. Sorry, we're rambling. Thanks for watching.
And
tip your garbage man.
and tip us, huh?
Tip us.
Tip
you know
us.
what? Why don't we have a dono line? We need to have a cameo.
I'll figure it out.
There'll be a cameo. Donate. Give us money. Money me, please. Money me
now. Money me now.
Love yous.